Hi Capricorn, welcome to your 2020 Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. For those of you that have been with me all of 2019, 2018, for those of you that have been with me from beyond that, right from the beginning, you know who you are and I know who you are, and I am truly humbled and very grateful for all of the support that you've shown me over the years. Thank you so much for that. It really does mean a lot. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you would like to get a future life progression session with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you want to get a past life regression session with me, you can do so on the website address below. With that said, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what 2020 has in store for you. Remember, it's not just a new year, it's a brand new decade for you in your life to do something truly amazing with. Now, I will say this: you get one destiny card, one direction card, and basically what the way that works is to have a look at each month ahead. So your first card out is the Star card: hope, optimism and joy, far-reaching ripples. Whenever you get the Star card, this is about long periods of time, and the thing about the first card out, it sets the tone, it permeates the year, right? The Star card is about joy, it's about optimism and hope. It's similar to the Sun, but the Sun card brings you blessings, whereas the Star card brings you the potential, right? Interestingly enough, right, because the Sun is a star, and all the rest of it, and this really does represent it, because it rules Aquarius. This can be about social circles, it can be about the internet, it can be about the expansion of something in your life. But the Star card in its basic form is about trust, it's about knowing, it's about having that glimpse into the future, Aquarius, right? It's having that glimpse into the future to say, wow, I can see that life is going to be good, that something is shaping up the way that I would like it to. And because it permeates the whole year, because it's your first card out, it kind of says that this whole year is a glimpse into the next 10 years of your life, right? And if there's any sign that understands how to be in it for the long haul, it's Capricorn, right? To see something through to completion. Whatever you start this year is going to have big reaching ripples for you. Whatever you start here in, from the offset in January, is going to really be a great year for you. It has a lot of potential, a lot of hope and a lot of enjoyment to be had. This is about trusting yourself and also trusting your vision for the future. All right, so let's give it some context. Your Star card relates to the Eight of Cups, right? So for a lot of you, this is about walking away from anything that no longer serves. It's about you you've got your eye on the future. The Eight of Cups is always about walking away from something that's created an emotional disappointment, right? And the fact that you've got the Eight of Cups with the Star card, for a lot of you, this could be you saying, right, you know what, I've got my eye fixed on the future. It doesn't matter what's happened in my past. It doesn't matter where I've been. This is a new year. It's a new decade. And ultimately, this is a new self. This is the new era of my life. This is you lot really stepping into this new year in a powerful way. And what I like about this Eight of Cups for you, it suggests that this year you are all about taking your power back. And check this out as well. You've got the Star card there, which is number 17. 1 and 7 gives you 8. And then you've got that Eight of Cups. This is a very powerful year for finances, powerful year for personal power, for self-realization, for self-actualization. Pay attention to the relationships that are in your life. Pay attention to the groups that you are aligned with this year, because they might shift. You might see that on a very practical, everyday level, shifts and changes really start to happen for you. February, you've got the Devil card, right? This is your card. This is your energy. The Devil card represents the sign of Capricorn. And so it kind of says that in February, now, because you are Capricorn and this is your card, it kind of works a little bit different for you. Yes, it can represent the things that we're too tied to or too attached to. But in February, it kind of suggests that you'll be looking at the ways that you do things. You'll be asking yourself some of the bigger questions of life, right? It looks like February, you're really kind of trying to ask yourself, what do I need to detangle myself from? What is it that no longer requires or deserves my time or my energy? All right, to give it some context, it's about the Three of Wands, right? Which is, again, a brilliant card. Now, the Three of Wands is about your far-reaching ideas. It's about you glimpsing things in your future, right? So January and February, you're laying foundations. For February, you could be asking yourself, where is your idea of success too rigid? Where is your idea of what wealth, abundance, success, material happiness? Where are those things too set in their ways? Where are you too set in your ways? It could see you really asking yourself, how am I limiting what this could be, right? As an example, if you kind of say, right, success looks like this and it can only look like this, you kind of close off all of the other avenues of what is possible. You kind of it's kind of like saying to the universe, well, I don't care what else you're bringing me. If it doesn't look like this, I don't want it. The Three of Wands wants to bring you windfalls. It wants to bring you, you know, it sees you looking at your ships, at your investments that you've made, and you know, it's asking you over the course of February not to be too limited or rigid in how success or abundance or blessings want to come to you. March even, right? So March sees you a bit more pensive. March sees you definitely a bit more reflective, and it could be seeing you really asking yourself, what is it that you are afraid of? This could be a time where something or someone from the past pops up. We do have a Mercury retrograde taking place in the sign of Pisces in March, so be conscious of that, because you will feel it, right? You will definitely feel it. I mean, it provides sextile energy to Capricorn, so you know, it can be a bit more beneficial, but let's see what it might relate to. The Five of Pentacles, right? So wherever it is this lack mindset comes from, you could really be you could really be addressing some of your long-held beliefs around money, around finances, around wealth, around prosperity. So here in February, you're addressing, it's almost like you're looking at how rigid you are and you're discovering what you need to let go of. In March, you're starting to understand how it's held you back and how those things actually create lack in your life. March could really as well, March looks like there may be some form of, it might be that somebody asks you for money. March is a big no-no. If somebody asks you for a loan or anything of that nature in March, it's an absolute no. Also, it could be that an unforeseen expense comes into your life, but it will be something that comes back from your past. It might be something that you thought you were done with, and it shows up here in March. So just keep that in mind, because it could be, you know, it could be a little bit of a thing. All right, April. You got the Chariot card, beautiful, right? So April looks like a much better month for you, a lot more powerful, a lot more dynamic. The thing about March as well is going to be a very slow moving month. March will feel like it just drags on and on, whereas April is going to be the complete opposite. April is going to be all go, go, go. It will be a very dynamic energy, and it looks like as well, whatever comes up for you in March, however you're looking at these things, it really does suggest that not only do you progress past them, but in April you're able to look at this, and this is one of the things that I love about Capricorn energy. You guys aren't afraid to look at the difficult stuff, because it's like research for you, and then you kind of say, right, okay, that's that, and in response to that, I'm going to make a better plan. Right, you guys are never afraid to go back to the drawing board. It's one of the things that I love about your energy, and because you do that here in April, you see movement. It's almost like because you're able to look at that stuff and say, all right, maybe what I'm doing here or what I've been doing isn't working, so how do I tweak it based on the information that I've got? You do that in April, and look at that, you got the Star card on top of the Chariot. This is absolute success. If you're looking to purchase a new car, April looks like the time for you to do it. It looks like a very good time for you to do it. On another level, this is about you reaching a big, broad audience. For some of you, you could be on TV, you could be on the radio. It's almost like whatever happens here in February, you have the glimpse, right? Well, January, you have the glimpse. February, you're understanding where your ideas might be too rigid, and more so because it is the Capricornian card, it also says that you're making the adjustments in time. March could see something come back to you and you're kind of looking at it and saying, right, how do I put a new plan in place? That's what's happening for you in March, and you're really addressing where this lack mindset may come from if you've been living that experience. And when you come into April, you absolutely hit the ground running. This is about you being seen. It's about you being successful and victorious. This sees you winning something. Look at this. You've got a double hit of this star card energy. Something about this year has a far-reaching ripple for your future in the best possible way, which is really exciting. But April looks like a month where you could be getting some form of recognition, whether that's on the internet, whether it is on TV, whether it's on the radio, in some way, shape or form. April sees you being broadcast to the wider world stage for something that you have won, for something that you have succeeded in, or do you know what I mean? It's kind of like you come up trumps in some way, shape or form. Which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. April looks like a great month for you. May, you've got the Death card, so there's an ending, there's a completion coming for, happening for you in May. And whenever you see the Death card, this is about where you, on a personal level, it's where you make a conscious decision, where you choose to let something go, or you choose to ascend beyond something, or you choose to say, look, you know what? That experience doesn't work for me. This connection, whatever it is, it just doesn't work. It's no longer viable. Now, when you see the Death card, something in your life is coming to an end. And that doesn't always have to be a bad thing. If you're coming to the end of a course of treatment, of medicine, that's a good ending. If you're coming to the end of a court case, that's a good ending. Not all endings and completions have to be sort of, negative and challenging. Sometimes they're great, but let's give it some context and see what the tarot is trying to give you as a message. So in May, your completion, your ending is around the 8 of Pentacles. So a job, some form of work is ending for you here in May. It's wrapping up. You might find as well that a lot of you decide to leave the job that you're in, whatever work you're doing, whatever company you work for. If that is the case, this is where you're leaving it behind. It's where you make that conscious decision to say, right, you know what, this job, this company, whatever, it no longer works for me. I'm looking for something else. For some of you, for a lot of you actually, because Capricorns you guys tend to, do you know what I mean? Like, you like to stay in one place for a long time and work your way to the top. That's your energy. But, and for that reason, you could be feeling that sort of like, oh, it's a shame. I didn't really want to have to leave. I love this place for A, B, and C reason. But you may notice that, you know what, in order to reach this potential, in order to grow like this, I'm going to have to leave this behind. I'm going to have to let it go. All right. So June, you have the Fool card, right? Beautiful. New things, new places, new people, right? So as one door closes and all the rest of it, this is beautiful because you're coming in with this Fool energy. So whatever it is that you're leaving behind in May is very quickly replaced in June. So you go from one thing into another. This is about a new start. It's about a fresh beginning, and it's about having the potential to become anything that you hope for it to be. That's what the Fool card is. It's pure potential, pure power for the shaping to turn into whatever you choose. Let's give it some context. Let's see what it represents for you. What is the Fool card bringing you here in June? It is bringing you an offer or an opportunity of some kind of success. And it's also a solid offer. So whatever is offered to you in June, whatever is presented to you, whatever opportunity shapes up for you in the month of June 2020, you can trust this. It's a solid offer. It's a good It will be a good use of your time, your skills, your efforts, your energies. For some of you, this could be that somebody that you didn't even really think of that way could come to you and say, look, you know what, I'm really into you. I'd like to be with you. And you could be like, hang on a sec, you know, where did that come from? Well, you've been so busy at your desk or working on everything else that you probably wouldn't have noticed, you know, and this person's like, they don't even know I exist. And then in June, they're kind of like, you know what, screw this. Look, I like you, deal with it. Do you want to date me? Yes, no. For those of you that are partnered, this could just be that you and your partner are having a great time. For some of you, you could be conceiving in the month of June. That's powerfully there for sure. But for a lot of you, this is about your work. It's about your profession. And what I feel is that whatever comes in June is a solid offer that you can absolutely go with. Now, I will say this, for some of you, it might look a bit small. You might look at it and think, oh, you know, I'm leaving behind all of this security, and like, you know, I've built up this amazing reputation and this name for myself. I'm not entirely sure, you know, it could look a bit smaller. Don't discount it. Sometimes the smallest thing, sometimes the biggest things have the smallest beginnings, right? So keep that in mind. You know, that's a line from the Alien film for sure, which is a bit scary. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't, just because it's from that film doesn't make it any less true. And it really does feel like that. Whatever starts for you here in June is a solid offer. It's a solid opportunity that will become something truly great for you. In July, you have the Empress. I mean, this is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, because you're living the good life, right? July is going to be fun. It's going to be easy. You definitely, it looks like June and July are going to be big travel months for you. So around the summertime, which is nice, you know, nothing wrong with that. It looks like July is a very opulent time for you as well. This is where you're going to be really connected to life. This is where you're going to say to yourself, do you know what? I don't care what it costs. I don't care. You just want enjoyment. You just want happiness. You want to live a good experience of life. In fact, I really like this for you guys because it does suggest a slower pace of life. And it suggests that in the month of July, you're able to kind of just kick back and say, you know what? I work fucking hard. Now I'm going to enjoy, you know, what that can do for me, which is absolutely brilliant. Really, really brilliant. Let's give it some background or some context. The Two of Cups. I mean, for those of you that are partnered, June and July look absolutely beautiful. I mean, especially July. This is sensuality, sexuality, enjoyment, the simple pleasures of life, the fruitful pleasures of life. June and July, very fertile months. So if you're looking to conceive, if you're not looking to conceive, be careful around that time. But yeah, July just looks absolutely beautiful. The other thing is as well, you know, you've got offers and opportunities coming in June, but connections are being formed in July. This is where you could see yourself really aligning with people that could, you know, with wealthy people, with connected people that could really help you further your career, really help you sell a business idea, really help you gain funding for a business idea. July just looks like an absolutely stellar month for you. Really beautiful energy there. And you know, the beauty of this actually, a lot of people have a lot of the signs have a very difficult July ahead, I have to say. August, you have the World card. This is your ruler's card. This is the card of Saturn. It's the card of the Master Builder. It is the 22nd major arcana, even though it's number 21. And because you get this here in August, you are taking a step up. This is where you level up, right? In some way, shape or form. You'll get a glimpse of it here in April, but it will be July and August that really see you making those power moves, those absolute sort of groundbreaking, ground-shaking advancements in your life, in your career. August looks like you are leveling up for something, right? This is where something comes full cycle for you, and you have this just absolute, you know, like wow moment. To second that, you've got the Queen of Wands, right? So one of the connections that's being formed is with a Queen of Wands. She would likely be a fire sign woman. So she'll be a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries. Whoever she is powerful, right? This is very, very potent connection. This is somebody that's well connected, somebody that's smart, educated, but she's very dynamic. This is the sort of person that I will say this, you would never pull the wool over her eyes. Her boundaries are ironclad. She knows herself inside and out. She doesn't take any crap. For a select few of you, a very select few of you, this could be yeah, do you know what, I'm just going to say it because no, I haven't got the time to explain the reason why, but my intuition is kind of speaking it. This could be where you are parting with an elderly loved one, right? Because that world card represents Saturn, its endings, its completions. Saturn actually represents death as well. So for a very select few of you, this could be where you're saying goodbye to an elderly loved one, probably a female. You know, if that is the case for you, my deepest condolences. But on the other side of it, this is a true power month for you. You could really be coming into a lot of your own power. A very, very successful month for you. You know, in some way, shape or form. And whoever this person is, they are a powerful person. Whoever this connection is, they're really showing you how to set your boundaries. And it could be, for some of you, that there is a grand reconciliation that comes out of a very difficult conversation that happens. I mean, August is really packed. I wish I had more time to go into that. I really do. Because my intuition is just firing off left and right for that. But your September, boom, you've got the Sun card. This is really interesting stuff. I mean, depending on what your sun, moon and rising signs are, you'll see I've used different decks for, you know, different mix of decks here, there and everywhere for all the different signs. And it looks like there are trends and themes happening. So I wonder if maybe I might make a separate video that's called like the key to the year and see how that kind of works for everybody. But September looks absolutely beautiful. This is blessings, it's abundance, it's joy, hope, optimism. I mean, you know, August can be a really great month. Like I said, it's only going to be a few of you that are saying goodbye to somebody, and it will be for good. But for the most part, I mean, apart from Libra and I think Sagittarius, your June, July, August and September are absolutely amazing. A lot of people, a lot of signs had really challenging months around this time. So really, really interesting. But yeah, September looks great. Blessings, abundance. It looks like there's some sort of possible windfall coming in for you as well. Fantastic. All right, so your September, you've got the Hermit card, right? And this is about stillness and consciousness. September could be a time where you're really feeling this sense of gratitude, but also for a lot of you, you might be thinking about a relocation. September may very well bring you news of somewhere. It might be a job that takes you abroad or overseas. For some of you, you might be deciding that you want to move abroad. For some of you, you might be deciding that the way of life where you are no longer works for you. And the Hermit card sees you doing the exploration, looking at other places and saying, you know what, where is it that I can go? Where is it in the world that calls to me? And that Hermit card could really see your intuition start to speak up. It could see you be in a bit more withdrawn. You might be a bit more, you know, about me, myself and mine at this time, which is, you know, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, and I forgot to say, for those of you that are celebrating in January, a happy birthday to you. And also, whatever you want your 2020 to have in it, fill the day of your solar return, the day of your birthday, fill it with a little bit of everything that you want the year to have. Spend time with family, spend time with friends, eat good food, go out for fun, you know, do all of it. So October, you have the Tower card, big shift, big realization. And this does feel like a shift in energy, but also a shift in consciousness. It's something about your deep mind or your spiritual self or your consciousness that is really going for a big evolution in September, and therefore especially in October you could be having a big realization about some stuff. And it might be in hindsight, you know, you might be having a big realization and, oh, okay, So you've had a card jump out, we'll flip over. It's the Wheel of Fortune, some sort of spontaneous luck or abundance, some sort of spontaneous opportunity or synchronicity. October does look like it brings you not only a different realization, it could be, there's a belief or a belief structure in your life that completely shifts and changes here in October. Now, I will say this as well, it does look like some sort of event is taking place in October. And I feel like this is going to be on the wider world stage. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the towers come up quite a few times in October. So I feel like there's going to be something big that happens on the wider world stage for sure. On a personal level though, October is probably a time for you to look at your car, maybe get it serviced, get it taken a look at, especially the wheels on your car, the wheels and the brakes especially, those are things to look at around October on your car. Really, and do pay attention to this, right? Just keep that in mind. Now, because the Wheel of Fortune brings you a synchronicity of some sort, I will say this to you, whatever it is that's offered to you in October, it's a one-time done deal, all right? You won't get this opportunity again. I have to call it how I see it. The Tower card, shocking, sudden. The Wheel of Fortune, opportunity, synchronicities, coincidence, like, wow, oh my gosh, this has just landed in my lap. It could happen. And it will be really quick and you will have to decide on the spot. You won't have a chance to think a lot about it. You won't have a lot to, do you know what I mean? Like, you just won't have the, the energy isn't there for you to hang around. Whatever it is that's offered to you in October, you have to move on it. You either want it or you don't. And that really is as simple, clear cut as I can put it. November, you've got the Hermit card, double hit of this, no, you haven't got, yeah, double hit of this Hermit card energy because you get it twice. November could see you really withdrawing from the world. November could really see you needing a break. It's almost like you want more quiet time. You're just kind of saying to yourself, you know what, I need to relax, I need to pull back, I need less stimulus, I need less shocks and, surprises and synchronicities and all the rest of it. I just need to regroup. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. November looks like a month where you're going to ground, just so that you can get your wings back under you and kind of decide what's next and where to go from there. To give it some context, it's the Seven of Wands. This looks like there might be some infighting. Whether it's at the job, whether it's in the family, there could be some disputes going on here in November. And it does feel for me like you'll be looking at this and thinking, do you know what, I don't understand why this is happening, but I'm really not here for it. November could be a time where you're just saying, you know what, I need my space, give me my space. And if you're not going to give me my space, well, you then, like November looks like a time where you're just not here for it. And you're saying, you know what, I'm going to defend my space, my time and my mental peace with everything that I have. Now, on a physical note, in terms of your physical health, this is about your immune system. November, you could really be feeling tired. You could be really feeling wrung out. Your nervous system, the Tower card, because it's Uranus, and then with the Wheel of Fortune, your nervous system could really take a beating in October, which will leave you feeling low vitality in November. And so if that is the case, this is where you do need to say, look, you know what, I need a break. Whatever is going on, you just can all murder each other if you want to. It's nothing to do with me. I'm standing back. This is about you just kind of saying, look, you know what, I'm not interested, I'm not here for it. But yeah, really do pay attention to your immune system in November, because it really could have taken a beating, because of this. And if you're feeling at a low ebb anyway, to have to deal with drama is no good, because it will eventually make you ill. All right, so just November's a month for you to really take rest. Really do that. And then finally, you've got the Hanged Man in December. This is where you're doing nothing, right? This is a month for you just to chill out, a month for you to enjoy, a month for you to maybe do some rest, recuperation, but also reassessment and reevaluation. December looks like a month where you're really kind of looking at everything and saying to yourself, you know what, it's been a bit of an intense time. It's interesting because it is a mixed year. It's a very mixed bag. You've got some fantastic, amazing months here, and then you've got some kind of iffy months at the same time. But isn't that life? You know, the roller coaster that it is. December looks like you're really taking stock of everything and everyone as well. You're really paying attention to life, what you want to do next year, what this year has meant for you, you know, what the challenges were, what the blessings were. You really are closing the year down and saying, you know what, I'm taking it right down. And then you got the Seven of Swords. So this could be, right, and I will say this to you, with whatever knowledge and information comes to you in December, just wait for it. All right, that's my advice. Because the Seven of Swords can be about lies and it can be about deceit sometimes. Well, sometimes, often. Right, and it looks like whatever you're learning here in December, it might be something that really, really, you know, makes you quite angry. But my advice to you, because you've got the Hanged Man, sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. Just allow it to play out how it will. The other thing is as well, this looks like, it's almost like you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna close this year down for myself. Right, and I don't know, just December looks like a bit of an intense month, but it can be a very spiritual month, because the Seven of Swords is, you know, it's not just about lies, deceit. Sometimes it can be about where we self-sabotage, where we twist ourselves up in our thoughts. So December's more of a spiritual month. For those of you that are celebrating your birthday in December, bring it back to basics. You know, really streamline and strip it all down to what it actually is. Your key to the year is the Death card. Change and transformation is going to happen this year. You may be very surprised at how you finish the year out. You may be very surprised at who you finish the year with. It does look like that. I don't really see the past coming back for a lot of you though, which is really, really interesting, because a lot of the signs had messages of, you know, in some way, shape or form, the past is coming back to you. And for you guys, apart from March, and even then, you know, it's not really about a person. It's just about your personal past. That's the only thing that you've got. New movement, transformation, evolution, you know, a different way of life, but ultimately a lot of new beginnings. There'll be a lot of things that perish for you this year and leave, you know, very fertile ground for you to step forward. So with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic 2020. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Check in month by month. Some people check in every 3 months, some people check in every 4 months, some people check in at the end of the year. Whatever you do, let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for all of your time, your care, your support. It truly does mean the world. Take care, and I'll see you soon.